Hello everybody. Only be glad to know I've perked up. A couple of nights with hardly any sleep, believe it or not. And I'm back to normal. Having too much sleep does not agree with me. It just makes me so tired and so droopy. I don't know why, you know. I'm just looking at one of the things I ordered off eBay. Gorgeous. It's a lavender microwavable bean bag. I love these. I had one ages ago, but it just went all peculiar. I've got some lavender foot warmer. Oh, if you can hear a funny noise, by the way, it's my sparkling light. It sounds a bit like a clock as it's going round. Yeah, I had some warm shoes, but they're really weird. Have you ever tried walking on beans? It's like, ugh, they're slidey, and oh, I couldn't walk on them. So, but this, I'm going to love it. My sister-in-law got me some tiny little sort of lavender, and I think they're lavender and bergamot oil and something or other, in little canvas bags it is. I think you're supposed to sort of put them under your pillow. The only snag with that is I can't smell them when they're under my pillow because of course I sleep with a breathing mask on. But they do smell absolutely gorgeous. So maybe when I sort myself out, you know, when I sort myself out, I'll put them in my underwear or something like that. I love this. I actually treated myself to some new underwear. One bra's arrived and the other two have still got to come. You know how it's like, ladies, you know, you go for ages and ages and ages with the same old, and then one day you sort of wake up and you think, they're all tatty. As my mother would say, you wouldn't want to be knocked down and run over wearing anything like this. Because, I mean, no matter how careful you are with underwear, you do eventually put it in the washing machine, don't you? So instead of white ones, I've now got lilac ones because they went in with something purple. And I've got a weird coloured pink one that went in with something red, you know. And I've got another one that looks sort of dingy grey, you know, because it got put in with something else. So I decided to start again. So this time, it was supposed to be antique rose, but there's nothing antique rose about that. It's more like shocking pink, but anyway, it fits, and that's more to the point. Well, you've been glad to know I have actually started crocheting again. I decided to dig out the crochet closet book. I would have showed you this many moons ago. And the other day I had on this blue cardigan, and I said to you it had weird sleeves. It has really wide, weird sleeves. You remember me showing them you? Really strange. Anyway, I decided to do it again, but this time I'm going to amend it and just make normal sleeves. You know, normal long sleeves, plain. Not got this sort of wavy bit on the end. Anyway, if you remember, I actually bought some boho spirit. I've been making shawls with it, the virus shawl with it, but I decided I liked this colour so much I was going to make a cardigan so that I could wear it with, oh, I've gone fishing, got my glasses on the end of it. I decided I would make a cardigan with it because it would go with quite a few of my dresses. I've got purple dresses, I've even got the jade coloured dresses. I have got a pink dress, and of course it will go lovely with black. So I've actually done the back part. As you can see, I have done it a little bit longer. The only thing I don't like is, which I should have changed really, is it's finished up with a lot of pink on one side. But You know, it sort of spoils it really because everything else came out stripy. I don't understand why I had this sudden big chunk of pink in it. But I'm sure only me will notice that. It's just me being... I'm not undoing it. There's no way I'm going to undo it. I'm just not in the mood for undoing it. It's mine. If it had been for somebody else, I might have considered taking it apart, but it's mine, and I won't see round the back, so tough. So I'm just hoping it doesn't happen on any of the fronts. It's a nice stitch. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I'm never sure whether my camera focuses when I put things closer, but it is a nice stitch. I didn't want it just to be trebles, you know, or double crochets to you if you're in America. I wanted like the colours to be more sort of off-centred, you know. It's not a shell pattern, it's sort of like a broken shell pattern. I'm sorry if you can hear. I think it's Sky who's doing the snoring at the moment. She was in the other room when I started, but she's decided to come in here and join me. I think it's Sky. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? Anyway, what have I been buying? I just bought myself a bargain top, but that's upstairs. You'll see it eventually when I wear it. And I've just ordered myself a cape with fur. I was bidding on one. Well, I was bidding on two actually. One was a raspberry colour one and the other one was a black one. But the prices just went up and up and up. And I've started now, no matter how much I like something, I've started saying, right, you know, that's what I'm going to pay. If it goes any higher than that, I'm not paying it. So it did. You know, some people are prepared to sort of spend enormous amounts, probably more than the thing cost in the first place. So I let a black cape go because that was a fur collar and double buttons. I mean, no doubt the one I've bought isn't as good a quality, but it's more my price range, let's just say. So I'll show you that when it arrives. It looks rather nice, but whether it will, you know, they're like on eBay. They look lovely on the photos, and when they come, they look like a flimsy old rag. I did get a beautiful jacket, which I will show you. Can't show you now, it's gone upstairs. I paid more than I would have done, but I hadn't seen one like it. And it's gorgeous. It's like shades of maroons and plum colours. It's like a little evening jacket, all done in a pattern, like leaves with gold. I will show you that one, it's pretty. I kept thinking, no, I'm not going to bid any more on it. No, I'm not going to bid any more. And then I looked all through Google and everywhere to see if there was anything similar. You know, to see whether I was going to be paid over the price. And the only ones I could see, like on Google and in other sites, were like £70 and £80. So I thought, no, I'm getting a bargain, really. It was just that it was a bit more expensive than I wanted to pay. So I broke my rule, really, and I thought, no, I'm going to bid on it. I'm going to put the bid up. Anyway, fortunately, I just slammed my high, which was high for me bid in at the last minute. And the other lady who was bidding against me obviously didn't have time to put her bid in, so slightly more expensive than what I wanted, but it's mine. Quite when I'm going to wear it, I really don't know. Although I've stopped saving things, you know, for best, because I don't go anywhere hardly. Oh, although I did go out, if you remember. I did go out the other day. Went to an Italian restaurant. But that's really only sort of like once or twice a year. I don't go places. My idea of going places is when we have a takeaway. Which is probably something that you do quite regularly if you're a family. But it just isn't economically feasible, let's say, for me to order something in and it gets delivered. Because they charge so much for delivery and there's only me. She's making me feel tired after I said I wasn't. Right, I did have an inquiry about what was on the back of the chair by Amanda. This is very old. In fact, it's so old it's falling apart near enough. I made it years and years and years ago with oddments, but it's been one of the most spoken about items I've ever made, and everybody absolutely loves it. It was made with oddments of James C. Brett, sort of like a bluey colour, a greeny colour. It's sort of falling apart a little bit in places. I need to sew it together. It's just granny squares, but you do them, if I show you the edge maybe you can understand, you do them sort of off centre. You start with a square in the bottom, and then you go out and it's fringed at the bottom, and I crocheted it all together. I don't mind having the ridges because that's the inside anyway, isn't it? And because it was in chunky knit, so I really must sew the ending on that, because it's in chunky knit, it came out huge, but it is so warm. I think the James C. Brett was some oddments I picked up somewhere. As you can tell, it's very old. It's going very, very fluffy on the end. But I must make another one. I've made loads more. I've got one upstairs that's white with all shades of pinks, plums and purples in it. And that has been all around the world with me. But it's a much smaller shawl. It's a summer shawl. That's been everywhere that I've been. But I've made them in other colours for other people. In fact, when I used to go to the knit club, we did a raffle in aid of breast cancer. So I made one in white with all shades of pale pinks. And the girl who won it, she absolutely loved it. And she was a younger girl that you wouldn't think she would have wanted a granny square shawl, but she absolutely loved it. In fact, you know, her friend that was with her said, I'm so cross with her for winning it because I wanted it, you know. I think if I'd have been taking orders that day, but I didn't do Etsy back in those days. I think if I'd have been taking orders, I could have ordered, you know, got a few more orders. So I might make another one because this is lovely and it's very, very warm. It's what I call throw on in the evening shawl. It's very, very warm. But I'm sure you could make it in colours that you have in, you know, your Moorlands or your what have you colours, your subtle colours that you have in the US. You know, red hearts and Karens and things like that. It's just basically granny squares, but you put them offset. I'm sure you can work it out. There's nothing hard about it. I did it, so it can't be hard, can it? You just start off with it like one square, then it's two squares, then it's three squares. You know, there is a slight pattern to it, but you can't really see it because it's, you know, kind of subtle colours, isn't it? Anyway, I just thought I'd show you because I've been asked a couple of times. So hi Amanda, I showed it to you now. I've just been watching Lisa from Lisa's Pine Notes. Excuse me, I'm having a scratch. And she's been inspiring me because she's been putting colours together, you know, like a sparkly colour and a plain colour. She just inspired me again because years and years ago, I used to get McCall's Needleworks and Crafts book. And they used to be advertising this gorgeous yarn. I think it was by Bernat or something. And it was massively chunky yarn. And it was all bright colours together. And of course, there was no internet back in the day and nobody in the UK stocked anything American at all. And I kept looking at all these bright colours like in a flag together. And I kept thinking, oh, they're gorgeous. You know, they'd put pink with red and orange, you know, together. So I remember getting very fine wool. We call it 4-ply, you would call it fingering. Very fine yarn and putting 4 strands together. And I knitted one. One was emerald greens and purples and different shades. And the other one I made was bright pink, bright orange, there was red in it, and there was another colour, gold, like a mustardy gold. And everybody was like, oh my God, that is gorgeous, where did you get your wool from? And I said, well, from our shop, you know, and they said, well, where? And I said, it was this, this, this and this. So Lisa just stirred my memory up when I'm thinking, because actually I found well, I've shown you this book before, and I've wanted to do this jacket for a while. It's nothing to it, it's just a plain jacket. And I was, you know, it's obviously done in expensive yarn. There it is, you know. And I'm thinking, I've got lots of machine combs in the garage. When I can find them, that is. I'm trying to stay calm and patient. So I thought, I'm going to get about 4 different colours of my machine combs, and I'm going to put them together and make that. But in the meantime, I'm going to settle for just making my boho spirit. Actually, I only bought 5 balls of it because I don't know what I thought I was going to make. I mean, they are 100 grams, but I only bought... Oh, why is that wet? No idea. That feels wet. No idea. It's called Festival, but it doesn't say the name on the label. It just says the colour number. And I had a job, actually, to find some more of it. People would have 1 ball here, 1 ball there. And I decided I needed at least 2 more balls, because it's taken 2 full balls and a titchy little bit to do the back. So I reckon it's going to be at least 1 for each front, and I only had 5 balls, so that would leave me with no sleeves. So I've ordered another 3 balls, so I don't think it would matter if it's not the same dye. I'll just do both sleeves out of the new lot. But I had a real job trying to find it. Everybody had all the other colours, but not this one. I'm going to love that. I love anything like this. I wasn't made to be subtle. I love bright colours. What was I watching the other day? She's a knitting designer. She's called Katie. It's not Inside Number 23. She does all this revamping and recycling things. She takes jackets, denim jackets, takes them apart and adds crochet onto them and things like that. I was watching her, and it's sort of been giving me ideas about... I was going to go through all my wardrobe when I can, when everybody's disappeared, and, you know, get rid of a load of stuff I'm not going to wear. And then I was thinking, she's giving me ideas now. Maybe I can revamp, you know. Put a crochet collar on this. Oh, excuse me, I want a drink. I'm going froggy again. You know, if I could put a crochet collar on something and cuffs on something. You know, do a revamp. Or I've got a nice pattern as well for a crochet belt, you know, with all the strings hanging off it, very boho, you know, tassels, whatever you want to call them, but very long strings. I've got a pattern for another belt as well that's sort of a bit more like a waspy belt. So I'm thinking, little things are jiggling in my brain. I'm going to have to write them down though, because I told you before I've got the brain of a goldfish. And if you ask me tomorrow what I thought about today, I won't remember. By the way, if I suddenly disappear, it's because I didn't charge up the camera before I started, because I couldn't remember how much was in it. And I don't like keep charging it up when it's not fully discharged, if you know what I mean, because I think I'm wearing out the battery. So I'm not sure if Sue's going to come. I've not heard from her. She's probably back at work by now. I think she said she was... I can't remember. She said she was working over New Year, or she got it off and they were going to a do. You know, normal civilised people go to New Year's Eve parties and things like that. Or out for meals and that. Like I said, normal civilised people. But not me. I will sit here and watch New Year's Eve on the TV. So it'll be probably Scotland. Hogmanay. I think my neighbour's still in Scotland, so she'll be Hogmanay with her dad. And her partner, of course, but she'll mostly be Hogmanay with her dad. Although I do think that her partner turns into an honorary Scot when it comes time to, you know, let the new year in, if you know what I mean. I mean, this year I've got somebody to let my new year in. It'll be either my son or my daughter-in-law. Somebody will let the new year in. Last year it was about January the 3rd or the 4th. And Gigi's dad looked at me very bemused. I said, will you go out and come in again? And come right in? And he goes, what? Why do you want me to come in? I said, you have to come right in the house. I said, you're letting the new year in. And he'd never heard of that. I mean, Scotland, I think they call it first footing. I don't know whether you do it in the US. But it's supposed to be the person with the darkest hair. They're really supposed to go out the back door, I think, and come in the front door and bring a cob of coal with them. You know, a piece of coal. But like the days of coal, long gone. Everybody's central heating now, or smokeless fuel, or log burning stoves, aren't they? And I don't think anybody does this tradition anymore. But Gigi's daddy has got very dark hair, so he was like the dark person I wanted to let the new year in. Although technically Gigi let the new year in. Because he was the first over the doorstep, but he doesn't count, he was only. Maybe I could take one of the dogs out, because they're black dogs, so maybe they can go out. Probably will be my son or my daughter-in-law when they come back in, because no doubt they're going out New Year's Eve. In fact, I'm sure that they are. So maybe I'll have a drink. I usually have a drink to toast the new year. As I said before, I'm not a big drinker, but I will have a drink. I'm not teetotal or anything like that. It's just I don't like the feeling when you get drunk, and I don't like that feeling at all. You know, and I don't like the headache you get the day after. I just like to have one or a maximum of 2 drinks. And when I say drinks, I have that much rum and then I drown it with Coke. You know, I'm not a strong drink person at all. Or I'll have one of those cans, you know, that are 5% alcohol. I mean, you can't even taste they've got any alcohol in them. I think you can drink them all night and not get drunk. Not that I've tried it. Because I haven't. Yes. Anyway, it's 4:45, so I don't know what time my family are coming back home again. They've gone out somewhere this afternoon. They've got to the sort of choosing stage of things now. They haven't got to the stage of buying things yet. But they've gone, you know, looking at furniture, looking at things. I mean, they're not ready for actually putting anything into the house at the moment, but they're just browsing around, let's say, and choosing. So, no doubt that will all come. I'm quite looking forward to actually seeing the house. I've seen the house from the outside, but they didn't have the keys at the time, so we only sort of drove past it, round it. And we couldn't go right up to it because they've got, it's a cul-de-sac. And to prevent unwanted parking or anybody loitering around, they've got a bollard that locks. So everybody who lives in the houses at the top of this sort of cul-de-sac. I think you call them cul-de-sacs in America. Like a dead end, you know. And everybody's got a key to open this. So of course, because they hadn't got the keys to the house, they hadn't got the key to this bollard, so we couldn't drive up to have a look really. We just drove down the road and I had to sort of go, oh yes, that's it over there. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing it. I would have liked to have seen it before they started actually. So I could have had a before and an after, you know. But it was a bit pointless me going up before kind of thing because the only time they went up was when they were actually working there. And I'm about as much use as a chocolate fire guard when it comes to doing anything, as you could probably guess by the house. But, I mean, my daughter-in-law said that she will help me finish off in here when everything's finished, you know. And Sue, of course, is looking forward to helping me to do the craft room when that's all finished. I mean, luckily I'm very patient. I'm not one of these who wants things now, you know, like some ladies are. When they get a bee in the bonnet, they want it done like yesterday. I'm not like that. I'm prepared to wait. I know I'll get the craft room in the end, and I'm looking forward to that. And sometimes I think it's all the more exciting when you have to wait for things. It's like in the old days, we never had anything on what we call hire purchase, finance, whatever you want to call it, apart from the mortgage, of course. So when we saw sofas, units, everything, we had to save till we had enough money to go and buy them. And I think that was half of the excitement, really, you know. Not quite got enough now. Yes, I think we've got enough money now. Whoa, we have got enough money now. We can go down and we can order it. And I think that made it all the more special. You know, if things are easy come, easy go, you know, you can go anytime you want and buy a new sofa. I don't think you value it the same. Whereas myself, you know, if I get something, or if I get something new, that is really truly special if I get something new. I mean, in a way, I'm glad that I didn't get the poncho with the fur collar, because it was second hand, although I don't mind, I don't care. But the one I've ordered is new. Probably won't be as good a quality because the other one was Marks and Spencer's, which is a good chain store over here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, Marks and Spencer's. They sell absolutely superb clothes. I mean, their underwear is renowned all over the world. I believe people come from places like Saudi Arabia and Dubai and that and buy tons and tons of underwear to take back with them because it's such good quality. Sky is really driving them home. I'm sorry to the person who always falls asleep. She's making me feel a bit sleepy, actually, to be quite honest. Anyway, tonight I'm going to start doing the front of my cardigan. I think it's all the bright colours that have sort of stirred me up into wanting to make something. You know, if I was doing something in a dull colour, I think that would put me off again. Because I'm looking forward to it. And now I'm full of ideas because of Lisa. Full of ideas about putting several of my yarns together when I can find them, that is. You know, to make something a bit special and a bit brighter coloured. Yeah, I should be making things for Etsy, shouldn't I, and try to sell things, but just not in the mood at the minute. I should be. I should be making hats or something. Little things that could sell, you know. Should be making those, really, shouldn't I? But I just figure that people don't have much money after Christmas anyway, so I doubt that they'll be browsing on my site. You know, Urban Gypsy Crochet on Etsy, just in case you're looking. I've got a couple of things still to put on there that I haven't put on. The weather's been so dull and horrible, and I like to take my photographs outside. Because the house is a bit, you know, cramped up with stuff and messy, and I can't find a blank wall. So I'm hoping when I get the craft room, I'm going to do a lot of this craft room, aren't I? So I'm going to take the, you know, the room divider upstairs and use that as a back cloth when I'm taking photographs. Take the mannequins upstairs and they can be up there. I'm definitely going to do my videos up there, I've decided. And I don't have to worry so much about people looking at me through the window saying, what's she doing, you know? Because I'll be looking out the other direction, I'll be looking out over the garden. And it does have better lighting, I'm probably going to move. Sorry about that. Poppy decided to have a good shake. Sweetie pie. Oh, she just missed the leg of the tripod then. And I am going to go now. I think I want to start doing the front of my cardigan. Really into it at the moment. Get the 2 fronts done, and hopefully by then the postman will have delivered the other 3 balls that I will need to do the sleeves. So, not been so bad. I had 5 parcels today. Mainly one of them wasn't mine, one of them was my daughter-in-law's. But nothing exciting, no yarn. Nothing that you would have said, oh wow. You won't be getting much yarn actually until I do my craft room. And then you'll have plenty of yarn to look at. Believe me, plenty of yarn to look at. But it's not my private stash, as I keep saying. It's my working wool shop for Etsy. Some of it's mine. I've been lucky enough in the past to have got some lovely yarn from the US donated to me, but I always insist on making things for myself with that, because I always think they're gifts to me, you know, for me to use for me. So they're going to go like in one special place, because that's my yarn, not to be used for other purposes. It's my yarn. And once I get it all together, you know, and colour-wise and everything, then I'll know exactly what I've got, you know. Because I think I've got some duplicates that will go together, you know, like somebody sent me 2 balls and somebody else sent me 2 balls. And I think that they could be the same colour, so I'm going to put them together. And I'm looking forward to using the Karen cakes. I haven't used it yet. That's something for myself I need to do. Probably be a shawl. I do love my shawls. Some people say, oh, I would never wear a shawl, it's granny-ish or whatever. But it isn't if you do it right, you know, it's lovely. Just trying to think, I'm going to miss all these Vlogmas posts that everybody's been doing. Katie inside number 23, she did one every day. And then Beautiful Things, she did one every day. So I'm really going to miss them now, they're going to stop. Oh, Frances Sipple in Alaska, she did one every day too. Somebody else did one as well, but I can't remember who. Anyway, I'm going to go because I think this video is going to switch itself off if it hasn't already. So I will wish you Happy New Year later, because I'm sure I'm going to do another one before then. Another video that is before then. So bye now. Happy crafting. See you soon.